If you are watching this video, please watch the last one before this one. This is a part 2 of last one where we are analyzing Togi. Last episode we ended up on Togi versus Hamza Ahmed, on how Togi is the complete opposite of Hamza, but yet he won't, and he hasn't, and he will never have the fall off that Hamza had, because Hamza Ahmed is a preacher. I don't hate the guy, don't get me wrong, but as a young guy in his mid-20s, he just comes on the internet and he preaches. Of course, his YouTube has fell off. He got a little bit of success and he felt like he was in a position to give everyone advice. Instead of asking himself the right questions, he was mega concerned with giving people the right answers. And that led to his fall off. I quote again a beautiful quote. The quote is, "Assumption is the mother of all failures." Anyway, moving on to new topics. I believe that another big lesson that we can take from Togi is just to ask yourself, what is it that you truly desire? Because it seems like Togi is doing exactly what he truly desires, and he's documenting his journey on figuring out what is it that he desires, why he desires it, and how he uses it to his favor, and how you can use exactly what you desire towards your favor as well. I see a lot of people hating on him. Oh, you use steroids, you're a bad influence, blah blah blah. Well, can't a man use steroids? The last time I checked, my body, my choice, right? Togi says this. Why are you so concerned with what another man does to his body? Oh, because he's doing it on social media and he's promoting it. Well, I don't know if a lot of you understand marketing, but if you're wearing anything, you are promoting it. If you have an iPhone, you are promoting it in a certain way. So you cannot do anything or have anything without promoting that said thing or that said behavior. And I bet that you yourself promote a lot of bad things that way. Oh, but he's a social media personality, he has a responsibility. No, he doesn't. He is not your daddy, he's not your mama, okay? It's not up to him. If some kid decides to take drugs and steroids, there are plenty of kids who watch Togi who do not take drugs and steroids. Do you want to know why? Because they can think for themselves. Because they were correctly educated. And they understand that just because Togi slams a shit ton of drugs, that doesn't mean that they should slam a shit ton of drugs. So do not put blame on the man. And circling back to that question that I urge you guys to ask yourselves, though, what is it that you truly desire? It is a hard question to answer, because at the beginning you will be biased. You won't answer what you truly desire. What you will instead answer is what you think that people will perceive you as cool, plus something that I kind of like. So it's almost an equation. You won't say what you truly want, but you'll say something that you're okay with doing, but that you know that other people will perceive you in a good manner for doing. So it's a hard question to pose yourself. You gotta ask it again and again, and make sure that you take other people's opinions out the window. It's very hard. I think it's almost impossible to completely withdraw other people's opinions out the window and ask yourself this question and give it a 100% straight up honest answer. Just keep trying to ask the question, okay? Just don't give up on knowing what is it that you truly desire, because you do not want to be in your deathbed and have that realization then and realize, shit, that wasn't what I truly desired. I just convinced myself that it was. Moving on next, I found this thing that Togi said in Gear Addict Trades Crypto. He said, I quote, "At my core, I am not a good influence, and I know I'm not a good influence." This quote is just absolutely amazing, because in social media, what everyone looks like, every single content creator, is some kind of signal from the world, from their viewers, that what they're doing is right. And Togi, doing what he does, he could have never expected that to happen. And the fact that he still did it, knowing that everyone would tell him, would give him flack or slack, however the hell it's said, for doing things this way, for being this way, for taking these things. And he still did it, knowing that it would get the opposite from approval. He would get shamed. If you think about it, approval is basically something that everyone looks for. And Togi knew that approval was probably one of the last things he was ever going to get posting videos like this. And he still did it. Why did he do it? Because Togi is an individual at his core. What do I mean by this? There are a lot of individuals in the world, but few of those individuals think in an individual way, act in an individual way, do individual things. A lot of people, as I've said previously, are just cheap extensions of someone else. The video of the quote I'm going to quote is Roid Rage plus Casino from minute 23 and 43 seconds to minute 23 and 54 seconds. And I quote, "What's the worst fucking thing that could happen? You try, you fail. You try, you fail again. And what? Either way, now you're gonna end up working doing the same shit you were gonna do if you didn't try." End of quote. This pretty much sums up Togi's mentality. What's the worst thing that can happen? Can you die from gambling? No. Can you go broke from gambling? Yes. And what? I can always get a shitty job, which was the same exact thing I was gonna do if I just didn't try in the first place. So the downside is the same as if I didn't try, but the upside is living the life of your dreams, or in this case, living a life beyond his dreams. So, I mean, are you content with your life? Can you go back to the life you have? I mean, if the answer is no, then why not just try and fail? Try and fail again and just hope you succeed. And if you don't, you're right back at the place that you started. This next segment of the video, if it does not change your mind about Togi, I don't know what will. This is a philosophy that Togi lives by, that billionaires inherit to, that some of the most respectable men in the business niche preach. I'ma quote you a quote from one of the most respectable men in the business game in the online space, and that is Alex Hormozi. I quote, "If you have no money, you should have no shame. Knock, call, email, text, DM, ask. Life-changing doors don't open themselves." Tell me that Togi does not live by accident by this quote. He does. Togi had no money and he had no shame. He posted videos from a disgusting frat where he gambled like a degenerate. He took steroids, he got drunk, he took drugs, he traded internet meme coins, he played Fortnite like a degenerate. His room looked disgusting. And what did Togi do? He posted videos. He made the edits, taking the steroids. He did anything. And because he did all of those things, basically without shame, shamefully maybe, because he did those things with no shame, he managed to open life-changing doors. Actually, he managed to make life, he forced life to open those doors for him. I mean, you just have to hear to this segment again. If this doesn't change your mind about Togi, I don't know what will. The next segment is something that I absolutely love about Togi. You never hear Togi giving advice. As he gave advice before, yes, but majority of it was as a joke, and he just never goes out of his way to tell you people that you should be like him, unlike many people in the online space, or trying to create mini versions of themselves that think that everyone alive should dress like them, should be like them, should have a business like them. Togi doesn't do that. If anything, Togi does the exact opposite. He urges you to think for yourself, to not listen to content from other people, to isolate yourself in your own thoughts, to reflect upon them and to act upon them. He never tells you that you should be like him. He tells you that you should be more like yourself. And that is refreshing. Another beautiful take I just got from Togi was on this video called New Crib Alert, and it starts at the minute 11:12. He makes a wonderful point about what happened to those dreams when you were younger, when you thought you were going to be an astronaut, the fucking president of the United States or some shit. What happened to those dreams? And that's something that I've thought before. The only true dreams that we have ever had were our first ones. Why? Because we had not been impacted by society by then. The society had not yet placed their limitations on us. It had not tell us that, you know what, that's not realistic. You should be one of these things. This is what normal people do. That's unrealistic. You shouldn't do that. I'll tell you guys myself. I remember that the first dream I had when I was a kid was to be king of the world. Obviously, I was very young by then. I was not aware that there were barely any kings left and that there was no person ruling the entire world. But I thought there was. I thought there was a king, and I thought that he ruled the entire world. Maybe I saw it in a TV show, and I saw a persona that was playing the king of the world. And, you know, I thought I want to be just like him. But then I grew up, and society told me that that's not realistic. You should aim to be a doctor, a lawyer, a veterinarian. And so I went, you know, I was a kid. So I went, okay, I'll be a veterinarian. This is what I want to do. Well, it wasn't what I wanted to do. It was one of the things that they told me that I should do and that I could do, and I picked one of those. And only now, when I've become older, I realized that they placed these limitations upon me, and they forced me to choose one of these limited jobs when that was never what I was. And you could clearly see that by my first ever dream. I'm not meant to be a listener. I wanted to be the freaking king of the world. That was my first wish. The first thing I remember wanting to be. How can they? It's amazing how society can grab a child that wants to be king of the world and sign up the child into believing it will be happy being a veterinarian. It's truly astonishing. But circling back to Togi, what happened to the dreams that you had when you were a kid? Those were the most honest thoughts you've ever had. The thoughts where society had impacted you the least. And I urge you to circle back to those thoughts and reflect upon them. Again, just fucking beautiful. Togi with the insights. Still on the video called New Crib Alert, around the mid 2021-22, Togi says another very powerful quote. And I quote, Adapt the mentality that you are not here to impress anyone but yourself. Togi is clearly doing this for himself. He's doing what he likes. And Togi is not trying to be right. Togi is not trying to be wrong. Togi is trying to be his own self. It's amazing how so many people live rent-free. Togi lives rent-free in a lot of people's heads. And the only thing that Togi is really looking to be is himself. And these people are just aiding the man for just trying to be an individual in a world full of fakes. He is trying to wake up, look in the mirror, and look at a man he is proud of. Don't get me wrong, he makes a lot of mistakes. He admits that himself. But he's always trying to improve. He's always trying to look at the man in the mirror and be more and more proud of him. Yes, he does make a lot of mistakes, but we can also see that he corrects them. I know that a lot of them for you are obvious and blah blah blah. But just think to yourself, if you know so goddamn much, then why don't you have a Lambo like him? Just stop. Stop judging the man. Overall, Togi is everything I thought he would be. There are so many people who go through life thinking they know it all. In a position to give advice, they tell people what to do, they act like they know it all. They walk around the world with what I would call mindless certainty. They're mindless, but they're so certain. The word sums it up. Mindless certainty. Togi, none of that. Just asking himself the right questions, progressively trying to get better and not get perfect. Just an absolute titan, and a lot of people still hate him, and a lot of people don't like him, and a lot of people will listen to this video and think I am dumb, think that Togi is dumb. I urge you to question yourself. If he's so fucking dumb, why aren't you as successful as him?